It's day 42 of 118 days with the Tudors, and today is 1526. And it's this year that it's believed that Henry VIII starts to pursue Anne Boleyn. So a really important point that I'd like to make here is that before Anne is even on the scene, Henry has pretty much given up trying to have children with Catherine of Aragon. It seems that they haven't actively tried for children for a good couple of years. He's already looking around thinking, what can I do here? It's already occurring to him, for him to have a legitimate male heir, he needs to find a way to get away from Catherine and to get a new bride. So this is already on his mind when he meets Anne. He's already on the lookout for a wife when he spots Anne. So straight away, we need to take this blame off of Anne that gets put on for her breaking up this marriage. Henry has already figured out he's not getting a son from Catherine. Okay, so let's just put that there. So the story goes that Anne comes into the picture through a game of courtly flirtation that Henry spies Thomas Wyatt being interested in Anne. That gets his attention and he kind of wants to compete for her affection, and then there's this like weird scenario around who can get a jewel off of her. It's all a bit strange. This story was told by Thomas Wyatt's brother years on, that he'd been told it by one of the ladies of the court, but she told him it when she was much older, so it's all a bit he said, she said. But the idea is that it began with some kind of fun courtly flirtation. Henry's obviously a bit older now, but it very much seems he's still a young man at heart and enjoys this courtly game. So from 1526, Henry starts declaring his love wildly through these letters. So we have 17 letters written by Henry to Anne. Now that in itself is exceptional because Henry hated writing letters. So the fact that he's even written these letters himself is a big thing. So these letters ended up in the Vatican. Anne's responses we do not have. It's most likely that they were destroyed, possibly even by Henry, as a matter of security. I won't go into all of the letters, obviously, because we'll be here all day. But then they've been kind of grouped by theme. But the first three, we see one, and this one makes me laugh a little bit. So this first letter, he sends it to her, and he's chiding her for not responding to him quick enough. She's obviously away at this point, and he sends her the gift of a buck that he's hunted and killed the night before. And to me, that just reminds me of, you know, when your cat brings you home a dead mouse and you're supposed to be really pleased. He sends her this letter saying that she should be replying quicker. She said she would reply to him, yada yada. And these letters kind of go on to start with to say, you know, I don't understand. How do you feel about me? And it seems like she's quite reluctant and quite hesitant, which again isn't always the impression we're given as Anne. We're kind of given this impression that she was a bit of a tease and was stringing him along, and it very much seems, at least from his letters at the start, that she was trying to keep him at a bit of a distance. Now, in these early letters, he's promising her not marriage, but an official position as a mistress, which she doesn't seem all that interested in. You can understand that. She's seen how that all plays out. Something else about the letters that's important is that one of them specifically says, and they aren't dated, but we believe this one is from 1527, and it says in it that he's been struck with the dart of love for a whole year. So we get to this point where he's got this lady he likes the look of. He's convinced himself he's in love with her. The letters are full of all this love stuff. He also needs another wife. Now, to start with, Wolsey and him assumed he'd probably have a match from somebody in France. But Henry starts to think, two birds, one stone here. And once he starts talking about marriage, then Anne's sort of reluctance starts to change. And again, understandably, that may not have been ambition. That may have literally been the security of not ending up single and pregnant. I won't go any further because obviously there's a lot more of Anne and Henry to come. But in 1526, we get the start of this, what seems like an infatuation. Whether it's really love, we can debate that till the cows come home. But he is definitely pursuing her. He's asking her to hurry up with her responses. He wants to know how she feels. He's really hounding her. And it's not until he makes that realisation of, oh, I was going to get a new wife anyway, but her, that she maybe is a little bit less reluctant. So let's just bear in mind, he was looking for a wife anyway. I'll see you tomorrow for 1527.